Hey guys, this is Trenchy back again to bring you another video, and this time I wanted to talk about wanted to do I think my first official wrestling video. I think I talked wrestling before, but this is like my first official video on it, and I wanted to talk about some news. Two specific topics in particular. It's the TNA and WWE deal that they made. I think it's a year or 2 year deal. That's official. They've already had this deal, but they confirmed they're going to keep doing it. They confirmed the deal is still going. And the Royal Rumble. This upcoming Royal Rumble. Um, so first about the TNA deal. So WWE and TNA have a talent exchange deal, kind of like um, I don't know what to compare it to, but they can exchange talents. So TNA men and women are going to be on NXT. NXT men and women are going to be on TNA. TNA people might appear on pay-per-views for WWE, and WWE people might appear on, or mainly NXT people might appear on TNA pay-per-views. I hope that does grow to main talents as well. I do think there are some main talents not from NXT that I think um could go over to TNA and do some stuff because they're not doing stuff and vice versa. I think it'll be cool to have some TNA people appear on WWE Raw and SmackDown for a bit, or maybe even like events like I'm about to talk about the Royal Rumble, which they have appeared in the Royal Rumble, but even events like Survivor Series or Mania, even, just to make that bigger feel. I mean, um, just to bring it all together. There's another subject I want to talk about a certain match that looks like it's being shopped for. I guess I have three topics, but the other two go more together. But with the TNA WWE trade being confirmed, I'm glad. I think this just work together to bring eyes on more companies to bring everybody up, and I do agree as long as they do it right, which WWE seems to have been doing a decent job with it. So far, they've been doing pretty good and being respectful to the TNA talents and the TNA, vice versa. They've been helping each other instead of trying to bury the other one. I think this can only mean good things. For sure. I think this can only go up. I do want them to be able. I do hope that, like I said, I hope that eventually this goes to Raw and SmackDown as well, the main WWE roster, where we could see some TNA people pop up there and some WWE people from there. Maybe they're not using Go to TNA. And maybe we could get trades. Like, hey, I'm not using this person. They make like equal trades. Like, hey, I'll trade Joe Hendry for like AJ Styles and maybe some other, like equal trades where it's like nobody's really burying the other one, just equally trading talents from one finger or the other. It's like, oh, I want to go to TNA, and this person wants to go to WWE. Then you trade them out. It's like, oh, we're not doing things because their superstars are kind of getting buried. Like Dijak, Dijak got fired. What if Dijak could have just been traded to TNA, or they would have been like, oh, we don't have anything for Dijak. TNA, could you take him? Like, we'll give him the TNA. And vice versa. Like, if TNA's not using a talent, give it to WWE if they have room to do, Because there's many, and that might seem like a bad business deal. Maybe, like, make some money off of it. Have them pay if TNA wants them. Have them pay a little bit. But I think that would be better for the talents as well, so they have a safe net. I mean, obviously, they can go to other places but mainly they just go to the Indies or AEW and Ring of Honor. And AEW and Ring of Honor are a mess right now. And TNA's the safest like indie spot that is in WWE that I can see at the moment. So I would say if you have got like Dragunov, we haven't seen Dragunov in a while, and I hope he doesn't end up getting fired. Instead of burying Dragunov, send Dragunov to TNA. If you have nothing for Dragunov, he's a superstar. He deserves to have time. He deserves to have matches and rivalries. Send him to TNA. You know what I mean? Or send him down to NXT, yo. Like, but you just pulled him up. It's like, and like, I just wish they gave time, instead of like burying these people on the main roster, I wish they would either bring them to NXT or keep them down in NXT and keep them killing shit, or send them to TNA. And it's okay if you have like a couple months without being around, but Dragunov, they really dropped the ball on. Dragunov's a great talent. Dijak's a great talent. They dropped the ball even worse on him. Those two were doing a great program together, and they brought Dijak up, which for the second time they brought him up, and then they didn't do anything with him. And I think that's bullshit. I don't agree with that at all. But yeah, I do hope this trade where we get to get more, like, if you're not, like, AJ Styles has kind of been in the wind. Have AJ Styles, if we know it's coming to the end, maybe of his career, or they mentioned it. Send AJ Styles to TNA and have his final run to be in TNA, because he's like one of the starters of TNA. He's one of their homegrown talent. He was in WCW as well a little bit, but he's one of the guys that made TNA, that was like a TNA guy. He's like on your TNA Rushmore. He's like The Rock and Stone Cold, but for TNA. Like, he's that guy. He's like the John Cena of TNA. Like, AJ Styles should be allowed to have his final run if he wants to. And if they're not using him, and if he's not on break, like, purposely, if they just have nothing for him, he should be allowed to have a final run in TNA. And I think that would be fitting. And, yeah, because right now he's kind of disappeared from, unless I'm missing something. I think he's, like, disappeared. So it'd be great. I just wish they build on this deal more. And I do wish other companies would make deals like this too. I feel like the AEW Day and New Japan and all these indies, OVW, Booker T's one. Booker T's company, fucking Dustin Rhodes' company. What was it? NWA. I do hope they grow on this and expand to other companies, and if Tony ever gets his head out of his fucking ass, maybe they could have a deal. I don't think it will happen, but maybe WWE could work with AEW. Probably will never happen because Tony's head is in his fucking ass, and he's got the superstars over there acting like jerks to WWE, fucking fighting people on Twitter, fucking Ricochet. But I do hope that would be cool. That'd be cool. They got some people over there I'm interested in. I haven't seen much of their stuff, but like an MJF. I've heard great things about MJF. I've seen a little bit of MJF. I would like to see MJF like show up in a fucking Royal Rumble or something, or show up at Mania for like a match. Those, I think, will be the best places to do it, like a Rumble or a Mania. Or Survivor Series. Be like, hey, when they're getting the teams, it's like, I made a call from another company or something. I made a call. He comes from a land far away or something. And, you know, Moose comes in from TNA or... nobody wants to see Jericho. I was going to say Jericho. Nobody wants to see Jericho. You know, like somebody... I don't know. I would say John Moxley, but he's being a skinhead Nazi right now, so I don't know. Like a Darby Allin, I guess. I don't know. People might want to see that panda-looking man from Seattle. People might want to see him. That I wanted to do like a WWE music video to the fucking Phineas and Ferb shit. My nemesis, and I was thinking about doing it with John Cena and Randy Orton. And I was trying to look up people from Seattle, and it was Darby Allin. He has that face paint that looks like a panda, and the line of the song is "A panda from Seattle." And I'm like, God damn it, Randy's never fought Darby Allin. This would have been so fucking perfect. Side tangent, but side tangent, but now but yeah, no, I'm excited about the deal. I do think this is how wrestling should be. Instead of burying other companies, bring each other up. You can still compete and make more money, but making sure there's competition is healthy so wrestling itself doesn't die. They realize that a monopoly is not good for anything. Monopolies are never good. Monopolies kill a lot of things. We have a lot of monopolies right now. They want to say they're not monopolies, but that they are. You're just kidding yourself. They found a way, even though monopolies are supposed to be illegal, they found a way to make legal monopolies. Loopholes. There are plenty of monopolies right now. Don't be fooled by that shit. But yeah, no, I'm excited for that deal. Before I get into the other big news I want to talk about, let's talk about the smaller thing. Let's talk about how Devon Dudley did this thing on his community page about, I think it was Matt Hardy was talking shit to the Dudleys, talking some mad shit, kind of like looking for a match. Devon shared it, and he was like, will we get Dudleys versus the Hardys at some point? And if they have a TNA deal, I don't know where everybody signed. Is Bubba Ray in TNA? Because the Hardys are in TNA. I don't know where Bubba Ray is. I don't know. I think Devon still works for WWE. Could we get a Dudleys versus Hardys at Mania? We ain't getting Edge and Christian. That ain't happening. Because Tony's got his head up his ass. And Triple H wouldn't do it either. Pride reasons. But, I don't know how good it would be. But could we be getting Hardys and Dudleys one more time? That could be interesting. I do think someone might die, which would be bad. But Hardys, they had this crazy match and they seemed good. They seem better than they were. I am afraid that Jeff might die if he keeps doing some of the shit he's doing. Like, honestly, seriously, I'm afraid he might, like, that shit crazy, and he's up there, and a lot of the years of the drugs and stuff like that have kind of broken down his body, and you can see it, but in the last thing they did on TNA, that crazy match they had with all those tag teams, like, I think it was like 200 tag teams, they looked fine. They looked like they were holding their own. And I do think Matt still got it. I don't know how well Devon is. He hasn't been in the ring in a while. But, that could be interesting. It could be nothing. It could be nothing, but it looks like they are shopping for a last match. And wherever that would be interesting to see happen, for sure. Now, down to my last thoughts. The Royal motherfucking Rumble. This Royal Rumble this year, for the men in particular, but the women too. This could be the best men's Royal Rumble that we've had in years. Now, I do think I've heard the women's Rumble have been beating the men. I saw last year, I think the women's Rumble just beat out the men. I think just beat it out. Like, the men's Rumble was good and had some good character moments, but I just think the women's Rumble had more surprises and was just more fun and entertaining and just crazy to watch. It was just more fun. It was just overall a more fun um show. Well, the men's rumble was good and it had a good final four. Um I don't think it really stood up to what the women did and how fun the surprises were in the women's rumble and some of the spots and some of the character moments and just that Jade and Bianca shit alone fucking took the night, man. And then you wasted a spot on Pat McAfee so he could do nothing. He didn't even take a bump. Like what? Pat McAfee couldn't take a bump? I think the dude from Price is Right took a fucking bump. And Pat McAfee couldn't have taken a bump from Omos and who was the other guy? Braun Breaker? Like he couldn't do that? I don't know. I thought that wasn't a good choice. But yeah, about this Rumble. The storylines going into this are great. I'm not saying they weren't last year, but this year we have so many moving parts. We have so many moving parts. We got CM Punk. Or no, let's start where it begins. We got John Cena's final run. This is his final run in WWE this year. He's going to be in that Rumble. And he is looking for an opportunity to give the fans what they want in their final run, but he wants to earn it the right way. He wants to have one last title run, but he wants to do it the right way. He wants to earn it. And one of his ways for him to earn it is the Royal Rumble. So John Cena is going to be going into the Royal Rumble looking to prove, to have his like glory run with the title in his last run in WWE. And just to prove that he's still got it. CM Punk wants to win the Royal Rumble because he wants to live his dream. He always wanted to main event WrestleMania and he never got it. He wanted to main event WrestleMania in the title match and he never got to do so. So CM Punk's like, fuck John Cena. I'm going to live my dream. I got hurt last year, but I'm still here to make money and live my dream. So I'm going all the way, man. I'm going all the way. I'm fucking going to the main event of WrestleMania. So you got CM Punk there. You got Seth Rollins, who hates Punk for coming back, who thinks he's been holding it down for a long time, while Punk just ran away and then comes back and expects to get everything he wants. And Seth wants to personally beat CM Punk and fucking go to the main event of WrestleMania and live Punk's dream just to rub it in his fucking face. Because that's how much he fucking hates CM Punk. So you got Seth Rollins. You got Roman Reigns, who not only a year ago fucking ruled the company with an iron fist with the bloodline, held fucking all the titles for 4 years, crushed everybody that got in his path. But then it was all taken away at WrestleMania by Cody Rhodes. And then after that it was the Fall. Solo took over the bloodline and started calling himself the Tribal Chief and ran out Jimmy and destroyed them and brought in the new bloodline and was saying, I'm the Tribal Chief. I have the Ulafala now. His father and uncle died over the summer. So when Roman came back, all Roman wanted to do was regain what was his for not only himself but for his family, to get past all the loss of the titles, the loss of the bloodline, the loss of his family moving away from him like Jey Uso because he was cruel to Jey Uso. To get past all as what he sees as betrayals and to get his spot back. And he's been fighting the bloodline. He finally beat Solo. He got the Ulafala back. Rock gave him the Ulafala. Roman is back. And Roman wants to win that fucking Rumble. Not only probably to get his lick back with Cody, get a little revenge on Cody, but also for his ancestors, for his family, for himself. He wants to prove he's still the guy. He wants to prove he wants to carry on his father's and uncle's legacy and be the man they always wanted him to be and prove that he's the man that they always wanted him to be. It's such a beautiful story, actually. And yes, Roman was a dick, and he's still kind of a dick, but as his character. But it is interesting, and I really like that storyline. But Paul Heyman also has a deal with CM Punk. And Paul Heyman is Roman's manager. So, but Paul Heyman was also with CM Punk back in the day, so they're also friends. So, when CM Punk helped them out against the Bloodline in the Survivor Series match, CM Punk's like, I'm going to call him a favor. And I don't know if they called him that favor yet. I'm not sure. If they did, let me know, but I don't think they did, so that's interesting. So you got Roman. And then you got Drew. Drew McIntyre came out, and he's like, look, I've been sitting here fighting the Bloodline. I fought CM Punk, but he's like, I'm sitting here, I'm back on the right mission. I'm fighting the Bloodline. Because the Bloodline kind of came back together. They want to take over WWE and crush it and destroy it and make it all about them. But I'm here fighting them. And he's like, I don't care. I'll destroy both you guys. Because I'm here to personally make sure that Roman doesn't win the Royal Rumble. And he even said, Seth, he's like, all last year you were like, we got to stop Roman. We got to stop Roman. We got to stop him. But then you drop all of that just to focus on fucking CM Punk. But he's like, I see you were right now or something like that. And the whole thing with Drew is, yes, Drew wants to stop Roman. And he probably wants to stop CM Punk and stuff too because he hates him too. And Sammy and all that in the Bloodline. But Drew wants to win Mania. Because that's his moment. He won the title twice at 2 Manias. One in front of no fans. And the other one was taken away from him by CM Punk. And his own kind of cockiness and meanness in him as well. But yes, CM Punk took it away, but it was Drew's mistake. But Drew has never got his moment where he won the title at Mania and had a monster run with it. And got his celebration without interruption in front of all the fans. He's never got the moment that a lot of others have had, and he really wants that moment. And he's going to be fighting for it. But he also wants to keep it away from people like Roman. So that's going to be interesting. And the Bloodline. So that's going to be interesting. We got a bunch of guys who have their own reasons to want to win. They all think they're the man. They all think they're worthy of championing the company. So that's one reason why the Men's Rumble. 2, we have surprises like Maven's been floating around. We might see Maven this Rumble, and that'd be really fun. Maven's really blown up on YouTube the last 2 years and kind of become a cult wrestler. So it would be fun to see him in this Rumble. And with the TNA deal, because we could already get some legends from the past and stuff like that. I'm hoping for like a Chris Masters one time. A Chris Masters. Maybe a Hornswoggle would be fun. Maybe the Dudleys. Just for legends. That would be fun. But my thing with it is, with the TNA deal, they have access to so many men and women. You have Moose. Moose would be cool to see in this Royal Rumble, because we didn't see any TNA men last year. So it'd be cool to see Moose. It would be cool to see Matt Cardona. I don't think we're going to get Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth. That ain't going to happen. I don't think so. The Hardys would be cool. Then we could get a Jeff and CM Punk face-off. That would be great. I would love to see that. Um, just there's so many different options from the TNA roster. They have, I think, Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. If those guys can still go, them in the Royal Rumble will get a huge pop, and it would feel like those like legendary surprises again. Um, but even then, a Matt Cardona would be just as good because people remember him as Zack Ryder and like shit like that. That'd be just as great. And for the women, I would really love to see Rosemary in the Rumble. I'm hoping for, out of all the women I want to see in the Rumble, it's Rosemary. Because I don't know much about her, but I've seen some of her stuff and I've become a fan. And I'm kind of learning more about TNA. And I want to see Rosemary in there. That lady they had on NXT in the crowd, Slamovich, she'd be cool. Jordan Grace was cool last year. It'd be cool this year. Um, like, that's always a shoe-in, I feel. I think, is Ash by Elegance Lana? I didn't look it up. Is that Lana? That'd be cool. They have Gail Kim over there. I don't know if Gail Kim wrestles, but Gail Kim would be cool. I don't know if they do it. Like I said, they're not going to do Dolph Ziggler, I think, because Triple H is Patty, and Dolph Ziggler said some things and shit like that. Although, maybe he'll give it up for business. But, yeah, we have all these people from TNA you could pull from for both Rumbles. And, they haven't really been building the story. Like, the story for the Women's Rumble is there, but I don't think it's as interesting as the story for the men's. Just this year. Who knows? They might be able to pull out a banger. I think theirs is going to be more just surprises and fun mashups and stuff. But the men really have a good story going in. And they could do that with the women. Maybe they could pull back to... Maybe Jade will come back and we'll find out who took out Jade. Like, Jade will go after who did it in the Rumble and shit like that. That would be cool. But another thing about the Rumble for the men's is we got The Rock waiting in the wings. We got the final boss to make an appearance as well, proving that he is the final boss of the fucking company and wants to take his run to Mania. Like, there's so many people that we could see in this Royal Rumble. And there's so many different stories, and they all have good reasons for winning. I want Drew to win, but a lot of these big guys, they're really building compelling stories with this and arcs, and everybody's connected, and it all goes back to Roman, and it's really cool. Another guy I would like to see in the Royal Rumble is Obafemi. I think Obafemi would be cool in the Royal Rumble. I think for the women, for NXT, Lash Legend, gotta have her. Roxanne's coming up soon. We already had Roxanne, but Roxanne would be cool again. I would love to see Cora Jade get a chance. I like Cora Jade. I'm a fan of hers, and I would like to see her get a second chance, or a chance to be in the Rumble. I think she's really come back and shown her own. I think we need some of the new Hispanic women in NXT, because there's three, Stephanie Vekar, Julia, and Zara. I think her name is Zara. I would like to see one of those women make an appearance in the Rumble. And for women legends, I think there's a few that you could pull from. Ariel did a good interview recently. I think it'd be cool to see Ariel. And half of these I don't think they're gonna do, but Ariel would be cool. Gail Kim is in TNA. I don't know if she wrestles, but like I said, Gail Kim. Layla. You have Layla. You did Michelle McCool one year. I don't think you did Layla. It'd be cool to see Michelle McCool and Layla in the Rumble. I think that would be awesome. Like, there's so many people you could pull from NXT. Like, Tony D'Angelo, the family, you could have them come into the Rumble. Axiom would be fun in the Rumble. Javon Evans, Trick Williams. Like, there's so many options from different areas you can pull from not only from legends and past wrestlers, but to NXT wrestlers, but the TNA wrestlers. Like, there's so many avenues you can pull from. And there's this one, if they don't fumble the fucking ball, the story for this is great. Like, not only is the story there, I mean, they had a good story last year, but this year, there's so many good stories going on. I think it is better than last year's in that last year's had some good multiple stories, but not like this. And I think if you pull together with the women's and start doing their story more, and maybe I missed it, maybe they are working on their story, but if you put a little bit more story in that, I think these two Rumbles could be some of the best Rumbles we've seen with years. Not only for the possibilities and hints they've been throwing out there and all the possibilities they have to pull from, because they got the TNA deals and the fucking legends, and NXT is killing it, and NXT has so many good superstars. But also the stories are there, and the stories are good. And hell, maybe Kevin Owens, after if he doesn't win his match, will enter the Rumble and try to fuck some shit up. That'd be great. I love Kevin Owens' character right now, and yeah, I do think this could be one of the best Rumbles. We could get Randy Orton's return. Randy Orton could win the Rumble, and he could be mad at both Kevin Owens and fucking Cody Rhodes. Maybe we'll get a triple threat at Mania. Randy, Kevin, and Cody. I would want it just to be Randy and Cody, but I wouldn't mind Kevin being in there at this point. There's just so many possibilities now, and not that there wasn't before, but I do think them confirming that this TNA deal is still going is really good for the business. And I think this Royal Rumble is fucking going to be one of the best Royal Rumbles of all time if they don't drop the ball. If they don't drop the fucking ball. I hope they don't. WWE, keep your hands on that ball and you fucking make that 3-point shot. You make that 3-point shot before the buzzer fucking goes, dude. You do it. Make this one of the best Rumbles we've seen in fucking years. Do it. You have the recipe at your disposal. And you don't have to do everything. You don't even have to bring in a lot of the legends or stuff like that. Just focus on your stories with it. Focus on the stories. And who you can get. Get all the fun stuff. Make sure if you can get them, get them. Definitely do that. But make sure the stories are there. Make sure the character moments are there. Make sure we have fun moments. But make sure we have really good face-offs. Final Four. Like, if the Final Four is anywhere as near as good as it was last year for both Rumbles, then you got it. But you gotta nail that Final Four. You gotta nail that story, dude. I know you can do it. Don't let me down, WWE. But yeah. I will ask, what's your guys' thoughts on this? There'll be more WWE content in the future, or videos, or whatever the fuck. I'll probably be doing those. I'm having fun doing those. But yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay frosty. And, this is Trenchy signing off. Beep, bop, boop.